right. For today's vocabulary, number one, kickoff. When you kick something off, that means you start something. And originally it came from sports. The kickoff was like you kick the ball, like in soccer, right? So that's how you start the game. So whenever you kick off a new something, if we start a new class, we kick off a new class. If you start a new project, you kick off a new project. Or if you have a meeting, you kick off a meeting. So that's how you use the expression. Number two, pretense. The pretense of something is like you assume or you think that the reason why you are meeting or the reason why you're doing this is different than reality. So, like this, like let's say a guy calls you and says, "Hey, I got something really serious to talk to you about work. Can you meet me just for a few minutes at this coffee shop?" So you go meet your coworker, and then he says, "Actually, it's not about work. I just wanted to ask you out." And then the pretense changes. So you met him under the pretense that it was about work, and then he asked you on a date. It's completely different, right? So it's basically when someone makes you assume or think that it's going to be something different. Number three, a misstep is basically you made a mistake or you went in the wrong direction, but usually a misstep is something that is not too serious. I mean, it's still a mistake, but it's not too serious. Number four, reciprocate. Reciprocate is a really good word to know. You reciprocate with your coworkers, you reciprocate with your boss, you reciprocate with your loved ones. It's just basically you are you're taking information from them and you're giving them feedback, or you are returning the same favor or actions to them. That's how you reciprocate. So reciprocating can be like if your boss says, "We need to finish this task and this task," and then you say, "Oh, well, that's great because we had this strategy that we wanted to try, or this new marketing that we wanted to try, and I think we can do it successfully." So you're reciprocating. Okay, we can finish that, and we also have a plan for that. Or if you're reciprocating with like someone that you are interested in, and you know they're talking to you and smiling a lot and laughing. They're like, "Hey, why don't we just go out and have a drink?" Okay, and that's reciprocating. I don't know if you talk like that, but no, nobody does. Okay, sorry. Next, number five, pay it forward. Pay it forward is actually is an expression for just pass on the kindness to other people. If someone does something kind for you, do it to someone else. Not just the same person. And that's called paying it forward. So if someone buys you a cup of coffee, buy someone else a cup of coffee. If someone buys you lunch and you were going to buy lunch, buy someone else lunch or dinner. We have this thing that's really popular to do at Starbucks in the US when you go through the drive-thru, and people call it like pay it forward. And so what it is you go to Starbucks, the person in front of you pays for your coffee. And then they say, "I paid for their coffee, tell them to pay it forward." So when you drive up to the window, the person will say, "Hey, that car paid for your coffee, so you don't have to pay for it, but they asked for you to pay it forward." "Okay, I'm going to pay for the next coffee." And people do that for like a whole line of like coffees at Starbucks. It's really fun, actually. I like it.
Wow.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not a big order. But number six, be on board with. When you're on board with something, that means you agree to join something and to participate. You are on board with joining this class. You are on board with joining your team for GMAC. Number seven, reach out. Reach out is to try to. It's actually a little bit more than trying to just communicate. I mean, it's like you're trying to make an effort to communicate to someone. If someone you really care about had a really stressful day, or a really stressful week and you know it, and then you keep trying to call them and message them, and finally you just go straight to their house and bring like some hot chocolate or something really, I don't know. I'm really bad at this. Or you just bring some chocolates or something and say, hey, I think you had a really rough week, or beer, I guess, I don't know. And then you say, hey, you want to talk about it? That's reaching out. It's not just like a simple phone call. I mean, that's still kind of reaching out, but when someone is hard to get a hold of and they're really stressed out, and you make that effort, that's reaching out. Yeah, you have to make the effort to do it. Number 8, in return. So in return is to say that if someone does something for you, you do something in return. You are doing something back. So if someone bought you coffee, then you bought them lunch in return. I guess it's usually the other way around. Usually, if someone buys you lunch, you buy them coffee in return. And that's it for our vocabulary.